Hello, welcome to this demo on Loom Social, an AWS-hosted social media application with AI integration. This project has a lot of bells and whistles and uses a lot of different back-end services from AWS, so I'm going to walk you through it step by step and hopefully explain how this whole thing was put together. So when you open the page, you're met with this nice landing screen where you're prompted to either sign in or create an account. So for this demo, I'm going to create a new account using my personal email. And all of our accounts have the same password, so if this thing is still up, you're free to use them. The password is just this, very secure. Here you go, log in. Once you click that, you are sent a verification code to your email, which you'll just plug in nicely. And I'm just refreshing on my phone here until it arrives. It looks like it is 627762. So this is done using AWS Cognito, which stores a database of all of our different users with access and whether or not they're email verified. This email is sent using AWS SES, and just plugging this in will give you access to the web page. So I just logged in, and you're met with this nice timeline. You can scroll down and see the history of different posts that people have made. You can tell that we have a bunch of different users, given the different user IDs up here. And yeah, we also have this Me tab of personal posts that a user has made, but obviously this is a new account, so we don't have any of those yet. So let's make a post. So you click the new post at the bottom here, and you can type something like, "This is a post from the demo," and submit. You'll see it shows up right here, and we got a new user ID and everything. Clicking on the Me tab, it also shows up here. And yes, so you can also add an image. This is an image from the demo to your post. I just clicked upload. You can't see this because it's not in my screen capture right now, but a file explorer window has opened up for me to select a PNG to upload. So I'm just selecting one now and hitting submit, and you can see it there just loaded into the page. So I decided to upload a picture of the AWS architecture for this project, which I'm going to run through very briefly after I finish explaining the different functionalities of the site. So again, you can also see this in the Me tab and the Explore tab. And let's go ahead and log out quickly, just to show that this will also propagate for another user. So this is my other account, same password, and signing in. And there you have it. So you can still see that both of these posts that I just made from the other user are loaded into this feed and not in the Me tab. So this user made a lot of the other posts, but you can see that these are excluded. The next functionality is this autofill with GPT-2. So by clicking on the settings tab, you're greeted with this page, and you'll just type something along the lines of test. And if you hit autofill, it will lock you out of these buttons while it completes your message. This is being generated by a GPT-2 endpoint in the back end and will typically take around 15 seconds. So that's not a very good message. It's very interesting. Maybe we can try another one. This is a test post and it is just GPT-2. So it's nothing too crazy, not your most advanced LLM that you've ever seen. But generally it will do an okay job. So if I give it a little bit more, there you go. That's a little bit more intelligible. This is a test post and does not include a question. Please just put query. Okay, cool. I guess. So you can copy paste this, you can clear it or whatever, and you can put it in a post. So written by GPT-2. Boom. Submit. And there you go. There's your post. Yes, so that's about it when it comes to functionality. So let me quickly run you through this architecture. So this is hosted using AWS Amplify, which allows us to easily build a React application that interfaces with a bunch of AWS backend services. We have the Cognito and SES, which I mentioned were the services used to authenticate users, create new users, and then send them confirmation emails, which is what the SES is for. We have this backend system for our storage, where we have AppSync through hosting a GraphQL API to communicate with our DynamoDB. This DynamoDB stores the different posts inside of it. So we'll have each entry will basically have the user ID, the text written, and the timestamp, and a potential link to media associated with that post. If there is media, that will be stored inside of an S3 bucket here. So these will just, the DynamoDB will tell us where to find that when we load it into the page. The GraphQL API is nice because we can just do some simple queries to load different posts that we want for the feed. So for example, this main feed just loads the most recent 30 posts. And then in the me page, it loads the most recent 30 posts written by that specific user, but it provides other functionalities if we wanted to implement different filters later on. And it's just basically a REST API alternative. Then we also have this upper section, which takes control of our GPT-2 LLM service for the autofill. First, we have our Amplify and React application communicating with a V8 isolate. This is created using a service called Deno, and it's hosted in Google Cloud Platform. This is actually the only part of our application that isn't hosted in AWS. The rest is AWS. This is the one GCP component that we have. But yes, in this V8 isolate, we created our own API proxy using TypeScript. So the rest of this project is in JavaScript, but given the React. But the V8 isolate is written in TypeScript and essentially takes traffic from our React application and forwards it to an endpoint with a hidden API key to keep our API keys secret and unpronounced to the public. It will go to this Hugging Face endpoint, which reaches back into a container running a GPT-2 LLM, and it will forward the response back to us through the V8 isolate. So that's more or less the extent of the project. I hope you find it interesting and hope you're able to try it out. Thank you so much for listening.